Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to be wrapping a tumbler with vinyl and have a peekaboo firework effect. I'm really excited to show you how I accomplished this, and we are doing so using one of the vinyls from the latest Gracefully created Brittany bundle. I choose 12 coordinating patterns and send them over to Judy at Gracefully Created. Normally these go with the upcoming holiday or season. She prints them, cuts them, puts in all the hard work, and drops them on her website the first week of every month at a discounted price. This particular bundle is obviously red, white, and blue themed for the month of July, but this pack will be released on June 1st at gracefullycreatedccd.com. I will list her group and her website down below so you can stay up to date with new releases and the exact time that this pack will be released. I already had a mega thin layer of epoxy on my tumbler from the Steel Magnolia, and we are applying APHRODITE glitter from the Steel Magnolia. Since we're doing fireworks, I wanted a rainbow effect, and this is a holographic silver. We're going to allow that to dry and apply epoxy until our cup is smooth. I have imported my decal and firework to Cricut Design Space and added a shape and unlocked the dimensions so we can size it to 9.675 by 5.85. That is the correct dimensions for a 16-ounce Plump, 16-ounce Hydrofit, or a 12-ounce Kewlzie from the Steel Magnolia. I resized my firework large enough or small enough to fit 4 of them on my shape, and then I duplicated that, and since it is a layered cut file, I hid one of those layers, highlighted the layer that was left, hit contour, and contoured out all of the other elements except for the star in the center. I'm going to create an offset for this so that we can highlight those stars in the center of our fireworks. I did a 0.025 offset, highlighted that original image and the offset, and then clicked slice. That is going to give us the outline, and then I just removed that original image and the duplicate. I duplicated the offsets 4 times since we will have 4 fireworks. And then I headed over to my main decal, selected it, and also did an offset for that one as well. My favorites are 0.025 to 0.045. I feel like it gives just enough offset without taking too much away or making it too bold on your tumblers. I made them all one color by highlighting and selecting the color. That way they will cut on all the same sheet. Then we move on over to our vinyl wrap. I'm going to duplicate that firework once again, twice, and then on the second one, I'm going to flip the image and then duplicate that once again so that we have 2 that are going in the opposite direction. Since our decal is going to go over the seam, we do not need to have these over the seam, so I just put them in an alternating pattern, trying to keep them the same distance from each other, and then I highlighted over everything and selected attach. Doing that attaches all of these images together, and it's going to cut out the fireworks from the vinyl that we are using for our tumbler. And once again, I highlighted and changed that color to black once I had attached my images. Changing it to black, you will lose seeing the outlines, but it's fine. It will all cut exactly how we plan. Now, if you haven't saw the Legally Blonde movie, you will not understand this decal.
Oh my God, you look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Seriously, one of the best movies ever, and the entire time I was making this tumbler, I'm pretty sure I heard this phrase and her voice in my head 100 times. So back to the tutorial. We obviously used the vinyl that had hot dogs on it, and I took off the excess vinyl that was around the border. I applied a piece of transfer tape to the entire sheet of vinyl without weeding it I'm going to reverse weed that once I have it on my tumbler to avoid ripping it or distorting it when I am applying. I used some Dawn Power Wash to get my cup really slick. I used way too much. All you need to do is wet your tumbler and do a tiny little dot of power wash. I don't know what I was thinking, but that will make your cup really slick and the vinyl can be moved around. I have heard using the Windex method. You do the same thing, just using Windex. Also works really well. All you have to do is line up your vinyl and then squeegee out all of that soapy water underneath. And once you feel that you have squeegeed out as much as possible, then you can take your heat gun and go very lightly. You do not want to heat too much to where it causes your vinyl to distort or stretch. You just want enough heat to help dry a little bit and get that glue activated on the back side of your vinyl. If for whatever reason your vinyl wants to lift as you are removing your transfer tape, just set it to the side. Even if you use the Windex method, you have to allow your cup to dry for about 24 hours before going in with epoxy, because you don't want any of that soapiness to be still underneath your vinyl on your tumbler. And once that transfer tape is removed, I just went in and weeded out all of those fireworks and the little star elements that were cut into the vinyl. After I weeded out all of those fireworks and elements, I went in again with my heat gun very lightly and pressed down the seams that were on the top and the bottom rim and made sure that there was absolutely no other residue left underneath my vinyl. I allowed that to dry overnight, and now we're going to go in with our decal. So I applied my transfer tape over top, and since this has a lot of small elements in it, I wanted to show you a trick. You take your vinyl squeegee tool, press against the back side of your vinyl, and pull the back as you are applying pressure with your squeegee tool, and it will come off perfectly without any fuss. I applied my decal directly over that center seam, and then I went in with my offsets for the stars and just applied them over all four. And there was some stars left on the backing because we just did the offsets, so I took those as well and put them around the tumbler just to fill in some space and give it a little extra. When doing the stars that were around my main decal, I put them on, made sure they were pressed down really well, and then I used my craft blade just to trim them right up against the other decal. As soon as that was finished, I popped it on my turner to add on our final layers of epoxy. For my final layers, I am using Speedy Petey Fast Set from DIY Epoxy. This epoxy dries incredibly fast, so after 30 minutes, I was able to add on an additional layer of epoxy. And it was dry to the touch, and I was able to take photos in about 2 to 3 hours after that final layer. Now, if you have high humidity like we have here in North Carolina, it was actually 100% yesterday. You will need a dehumidifier if you are using any fast set epoxy. Or the other option is to use the regular epoxy for your final layer. Fast sets are very particular since they cure so quickly, so you may experience when there's high humidity some very light tackiness, like almost hardly enough to even notice, but a little tackiness. But that's okay, it's just because of the humidity. Either grab a dehumidifier or use the regular DIY epoxy for your final coat. Now, normally I do a cute little video at the end showing the tumbler off, but this time I wanted to show you how versatile this Steel Magnolia tumbler is. So first we have our regular lid that has the spout as well as a straw spot. So that would be, I would say, for your coffee in the morning. And then you can switch over to the Hydrofit lid. It also fits any of the Plumps that Steel Magnolia sells. You can use this for your midday water, and then after work in the afternoon, we can switch over to our 12-ounce slim koozie lid. So this is 3 cups in one. It is a huge selling point for me to offer for my customers. I usually just order a 16, 24, or 32 Plump. I grab some hydro lids for the 24 and 32s to add to my website, and then I grab some of these slim Kewlzie lids as well, so I can add all of those options to the tumblers to help them sell better on my website and give them the option to purchase the additional lids. As always, all the products I use are in the description below, along with discount codes. Don't forget to join the Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler art group and Gracefully created to make sure you grab that time that the vinyl pack will be released. That is all for today. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.